Hey, it's the Dark Wolf here, and to kick off 2025, let's look at what my favorite toys of 2024 were. Now, this isn't a list of figures that specifically came out that year, but rather figures I got. It's my list. So some of the honorable mentions, I have a main few that are mentioned, but most of the figures you're seeing are also honorable mentions. But I can't make the whole video about them, so here are my top honorable mentions. Hunt for the Decepticons Sea Spray, Classics Megatron, Power of the Primes Grimlock, Combiner Wars Cyclonus, Wreck and Rule 2 Pack Impactor, Studio Series The Last Knight Mohawk. Hunt for the Decepticon Sea Spray is not a great figure. It's unique, and I love the look of it. Platinum Edition Classics Megatron is a real cool figure and has decent articulation, but can't stand for the life of it with its loose sass backpack. Power of the Primes Grimlock is a great figure with pretty good articulation and a decent Dino mode, and I was lucky enough to get it for $5. Combiner War Cyclonus is not the best, but I like his character, and I love the combined mode as Galvatronus. Mine is missing a few flaps and the fins to the jet mode, which is the only thing that for me brings it down. Wreck and Rule Impactor, it's a cool retool of this Siege figure, but in the G1 cartoon aesthetic, the contrast of mustard yellow and purple works wonderfully for this figure, and the Cybertronian tank, honestly, it works for me. In Lucky Last Studio Series Core Class Mohawk, this little freak looks great, and that's it. The bike mode is decent, and it's a core class, so there isn't too much to talk about, so let's move on. Now let's get into the top 15 figures of 2024. Why 15? Because there were too many cool figures for 10, and there weren't enough for 20. This list consists of figures that I obviously like, but please tell me your top 5, 10, or even 20 figures of the year in the comments below. I'd really like to know. Number 15. Studio Series Bumblebee Movie Voyager Thundercracker and Skywarp. Both these figures look great, and I love having both brothers, especially in the Bumblebee movie aesthetic. The Seekers probably had some of the best looks in the movie. They both have great paint jobs and really fit in with the rest of my Bumblebee movie figures. Number 14. Armada Tidal Wave. No, not the new Titan class from Legacy, the old one from 2003 in non-show accurate colors. This Tidal Wave is a hulking brute that towers amongst the rest of my collection. And the reason he is so low on my list is because all he can really do is just stand there. He doesn't have knees and lacks the most basic articulation. And that's what really brings him down. Number 13. Legacy Leader Nova Prime. This mode originates from the Siege Magnus. Yeah, I know parts forming and whatever, but overall this is a great figure. I love the wings and the contrast of the white, the gold, the gunmetal, and the bluish gray on this guns and joints. I'm glad I have it, and I really would like to add more primes to my collection. Number 12. Armada Unicron. Now this figure had to be on my list, and I bet you all know why. He's my biggest figure, and it's fucking Unicron. Its overall look, it's just amazing. I love this design's look compared to the G1 Unicron. I would say I'm lucky to have won this in an auction for $30 well, and then plus shipping, which put it to just over $100, but I'd say it's still worth it. I love this figure. Number 11. Studio Series Deluxe Class Transformers 1 Optimus Prime. This figure is a great representation of his on-screen appearance. He has pretty good articulation and a decent transformation. This is my first ever Deluxe Class Optimus, and the reason this is number 11 is because the shoulders always seem a bit fiddly, and most of the time they just start transforming, and my only other gripe are the visible hands in the alt mode. Number 10. Combiner Wars Devastator. This is the KO downsized version of the original figure. It overall is a great representation of Devastator. I love the combined form as well as the individual vehicle modes. It's at number 10 because the lack of articulation in their individual robot modes. And due to it being a KO, the plastic quality's not the best, and I've already had small breakages. Number 9. Legacy Blitzwing. Overall, I love this figure. It's a great representation of the G1 cartoon. Sure, the jet mode's stubby and has all the tank parts under the wings. Yeah, that's my one gripe. I love the tank and the robot mode. He has great articulation, and I like partnering him up with the Siege Astrotrain. Number 8. Revenge of the Fallen Voyager Optimus. This is the 2007 Voyager with a brand new paint job, which was re-released in 2008 for the Revenge of the Fallen toy line. The darker and dirty colors really fit that Revenge of the Fallen vibe. The transformation's fun, but the automorph can get a bit fiddly. He also has plenty of gimmicks, such as this fold-out guns with insanely strong spring-loaded missiles and his disappearing hologram truck driver. Number 7. Studio Series Gamer Edition Megatron. I genuinely love this figure. The plastic just feels great. I love the tank mode. The transformation's nice and simple. I love the robot mode. Yeah, I know you can't bend his legs much, but overall, he's just a great figure. Originally, when I watched Prime vs. Primes and that Toy Guy's reviews for this figure, I thought, I'm not getting this figure's shit. But once I had it in my hands, I fucking fell in love with that thing. Number 6. Rise of the Beast Mainline Optimus. This figure is so fun to mess around with. It's so fun to pose and transform. Sure, it's a bit small and doesn't exactly scale with the rest of my Rise of the Beast collection, but it's a really good figure. It takes cues in its transformation from the Evasion mode, the Earthrise, and a few others. Number 5. Revenge of the Fallen Leader Jetfire. The Revenge of the Fallen Jetfire is massive and commands whatever shelf you put it on. This figure hasn't aged the best. It's lacking some articulation, and the knees can't hold him up. He really is like an old man. But I just love to look and feel the presence of this figure once you look at him, and that glorious jet mode, the SR-71 Blackbird, it's the best looking plane ever in my opinion. Number 4. Legacy Jyaxus. I don't know too much about this character. I've seen Panda Jack Productions videos using this guy. I've been enjoying the development of his character through the show, and the figure is just fantastic. He poses like a beast. He's a tall Voyager. The color contrast is nice, the jet mode's pretty cool, but my one issue with this figure is the yellowing issue. Number 3. Siege Astrotrain. This has to be one of my favorite figures that I own. It's just a spectacular triple changer, whose train mode just emulates its G1 counterpart in the Space Shuttle, as well as the inclusion of the Astro Tender, which can turn into a launch pad for the shuttle mode, and a backpack for the robot, and obviously the tender of the train, which can conceal all of Astro Train's weapons. This figure is great. I only wish that he'd actually be leader-sized, because this version is a bit too short. Number 2. SS-86 Ultra Magnus. This figure of Ultra Magnus is a beast. The commander budget was used really well in the making of this big guy. He's so articulate, the vehicle mode, it's fucking awesome. And it can actually carry cars. Take that Kingdom Magnus. The transformation is smooth with lots of nice ratchet joints and lots of accessories, and the Matrix gimmick having the chest windows flip out is pretty cool. Number 1. My top figure of 2024. Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Optimus Prime. The Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Optimus Prime is an absolute beast of a figure. The transformation is smooth, and when it's in robot mode, it's packed with detail, from the iconic flip-out swords to the lights and sounds that make it feel like you're holding the actual movie hero. The truck mode? Pure perfection, sleek and intimidating. This figure was the blueprint for the Masterpiece Optimus, meaning it's got insane articulation and presence. If you're into collecting Transformers figures, this figure is an absolute must-have. And that's it for my top 15 Transformers figures of 2024. Thank you guys for watching, and leave your top 5, 10, 15, or even 20 figures in the comments. And that's it for my top 15 Transformers figures of 2024.